To whom it may concern, I am writing to complain about a public-facing mural on the external wall of Goldsmiths, University of London's library. The mural contains photographs of various neo-Nazis, some of whom have been associated with extreme acts of violence against people of colour in local and wider communities across London. There is a photograph of John Tyndall, a convicted far-right extremist, white supremacist, anti-Semite, homophobe and racist, who advocated the targeted use of violence against immigrants and black people in the UK. Tyndall had several criminal convictions for his far-right activities, including a 6-month prison sentence in 1962. Given Tyndall's active involvement in paramilitary training of domestic terrorists, it is probable that Copeland was supported in his murder campaign on the streets of London by Tyndall, who had previously demonstrated his commitment to fomenting race war. In Copeland's terrorist attack on Soho, Brixton and Brick Lane, 3 people died and over 140 people sustained serious injuries. In 1992, Tyndall coordinated a racist attack against people leafleting the Chicksand estate in London's East End. I was there, as I had been photographing in the area as part of an ongoing project. During the attack, I received a serious stab wound and my arm was fractured, requiring ongoing hospital treatment. Several other people were seriously injured as well, and the attack was reported to the Metropolitan Police and statements were taken.
So what are the things that I learned from that incident? Well, firstly, that the violence that we saw on the streets of London during the 90s, the 80s and earlier in the 70s as well, and beyond then as well, was highly organised, planned, coordinated, and it had a very, very clear outcome in mind, which was just to simply destroy any credible opposition. And I think the people that have been involved with confronting the far right understand that to do so takes more than fine rhetorics. It takes more than people standing on platforms with megaphones. There is an idea in academia that that's the starting point, and it might well be that it has a place to play, and I think it does, but on its own, it's not sufficient. And one of the things I learnt that day was that all sorts of ordinary people came out onto the streets. They were prepared to take the risk. They didn't necessarily know what the risks were, and they wanted to offer some sort of voice against the growth of extremism.
Information about John Tyndall's domestic terrorism is readily available, and I am utterly appalled by the contempt with which Goldsmiths has treated students, staff and the local community. Consequently, I think it necessary to make this formal complaint, and I will assist with any forthcoming investigation. Yours sincerely, Paul Halliday.